Hello from my squeaky chair. I am Becca, if you're new here. If not, hello again. Welcome to another Chatty Monday video. We're still very much in the process of getting settled into our new apartment here in Vancouver, and I love it and I'm very excited. But it's also a little bit overwhelming. I'm not very good at it, but it's whatever. I have like 2 plants and they're in the frame with us because every video is made better by plants. Some other random things. I am trying to see if I like my natural hair more. The jury is still out on that one. And then another thing, I'm not wearing them right now, but I've actually started wearing my contacts again, which this is gonna sound so silly, but I feel like my depression era is when I felt like putting my contacts in was too hard. That's when you know that life is a little too much for you. But yeah, I've been wearing my contacts recently and I don't know, I still wear both of them equally because I've actually really grown to like my glasses. And every time I wear my contacts, Billy's like, oh, I like your glasses. So I don't know, I still wear both. But yeah, it is a beautiful day here in Vancouver and I'm sitting inside chatting with you guys, which is my favorite thing to do. I don't know, I just get so chatty sometimes. I guess I'm gonna launch into my video topic. So I feel like over the past year, because it has been so insane and I have been in kind of such a low place, like I'm very fine now. I'm very happy and I'm like normal now that we're settled and a lot of the situations are kind of gone and things are getting good again. Anyways, I did spend a lot of this year very unhappy. And so I feel like that made me very intrigued with kind of the science of happiness. Like I wanted to understand what makes you happy and why people get sad. Which sounds really dumb. You're happy when you're happy and you're sad when you're sad. Like there's not much else to it. Now that I'm uncovering all this, I think there actually is a lot more to it. And another big thing from this whole past year, when we were moving so much and we weren't living in our own space and things were just so up in the air and in limbo, all I wanted was routine. I craved it. I just wanted routine and I wanted structure and I wanted the same thing day in and day out. And I know that drives a lot of people insane because they're in that situation and they want the opposite. So again, it's like this whole opposite end of the spectrum thing. There's the people that crave to go on adventures and they want something different, and then you have the opposite. Like I know that I follow some Instagram influencers. They seem like they have the most amazing life, right? Like I wish I could sit in a bikini on a beach in Bali for like a week and get paid for it, right? But these same influencers will share on their stories about how hard it is. The burnout is real. Like it feels so good for them when they get to go home. And I remember one girl, the biggest tip she had to share for travel influencers was make sure that even if it's just a tiny little apartment in a dinky city, make sure that you have your own 4 walls that you can go to that are for you. You can shut the door and it's your own private space. And I feel that to my core. Like nothing feels better than having your own space with your own stuff. You feel safe and secure and it's just incredible. Anyways, so I guess I started kind of looking a lot more into like, why does routine make you happy? That doesn't make sense. That sounds boring, but I have since learned that having your routines in place, it just leads to so much more mental clarity. There's so much less stress and anxiety in your every single day, and it just leads to a much more happy and balanced life. And it's also that stupid, corny, cheesy, terrible motto thing where it's like, the joy is in the journey, and they're not wrong. You can hate the dishes or you can do them and use it as a time to get into the rhythm of it and like meditate, and it can turn into something that's actually, dare I say, enjoyable. There is genuinely a happiness to be found in routines, I have found. And the other thing is routines don't have to look the same for everybody. They don't have to be this big grandiose routine to make you the most efficient human being, to have the best productivity in the entire world. No, a routine can be as simple as taking a shower. When you take a shower, I know for me, I sometimes forget, like, did I condition my hair? You go on autopilot. It's that thing of being able to completely kind of unplug and turn your brain off that is so vital to having just some more peace in your life. Because when you are moving constantly and just living this crazy life, you have to figure everything out every single day, and it's just exhausting. When every single place you shower, you have to figure out the different shower and you have to set up your shower, whatever. I keep talking about showers. Or even the coffee, like if it's a different machine, you have to figure out how to work the machine and adjust it, and you have to figure out where the mugs are. It's just, they sound very little, but it adds up over time. And then when your entire day is full of all of these little micro decisions, it's exhausting. So the happiness from routines is more the familiarity of it. So it's the constant doing of the thing, and then you get the constant result. And there's just so much peace to be found in that. So some benefits of having routines is that you are very much so less stressed out. You can form better habits to then be a healthier human. You feel more productive, you feel more focused. There are just so many good benefits to routines, and I'm just obsessed with it now. Another thing too is humans crave structure. They crave routines. And I remember reading that in a parenting book and not understanding. Kids want boundaries? What does that even mean? What are boundaries? And it wasn't until we had to live at friends' houses and we were in their space that I finally understood what exactly that means. I felt very uncomfortable. It drove me crazy. Like my anxiety was through the roof because it was just even little things like, what time am I allowed to come up and be in your kitchen? Which again sounds so silly, but if I am doing things that are potentially like really bothering people, I go berserk. My anxiety just takes off, and until I know and have an open conversation and figure out what the boundaries are and kind of get a structure in place and a routine, then I feel better. But the beginning is awful, and that's what kids are craving. Like they want to know the boundaries. Parents all the time are like, oh, they're testing it. Because they are. They want to know how firm the boundaries are and what exactly they are. Because once you're inside of your boundary, then you feel safe. Then you can feel peace. You understand your world, and there's just a lot of happiness that comes from that. So having routines in place, make sure that you work when you need to work, so then you can shut off when you need to shut off. This is such a big thing, and I've learned this slowly over the years. Program the hardest thing in the beginning of the day. That's when you have the most focus. It's when you have the most energy. It's oftentimes when you can block off a set chunk of time to be able to tackle the big hard things and get it done. So then you don't have to get to your evening and be like, oh man, I still have that big thing I have to do. I am now tired. It's getting late. I'm really stressed out about it. It's just a much better situation to get it done early when you can. And daily routines oftentimes allow you, and they have that in the structure so that you can do that and have a better day. And there's just something so pleasant about having your routines, doing them every day. It just brings you a lot of peace. I don't know, they just seem very sweet to me now. Like even the simple things like picking up and vacuuming, I enjoy them now. Laundry, love it. Because when you're having to like go to laundromats and figure out different washing machines every place that you go, it becomes such a heavy load, no pun intended, that now that I have a washer and dryer and I have a spot for all the laundry to collect and I can do it like every other day and it doesn't become such a big load, it's great, and I actually genuinely love it. Not a lot of people can say that they love doing laundry. So I thought I'd just run through some funny little examples of routines. So in the morning, you're going to make sure that you wake up early enough so that you can actually make a good breakfast and sit down and enjoy it. Have your daily routine of making your coffee and just kind of cleaning everything up. So then you're set up for the rest of the day. You're not starting out super rushed. You're not starting out super stressed. It's just a nice awakening to the rest of your day. Another example of a good daily routine. So like if you actually go into a physical like 9-to-5 job, again, program and do all of your big projects in the beginning of the day. Tackle them head on, get them done. So then you just have smaller projects throughout the day. And then maybe even by 3 o'clock you can check out mentally. Another good example of a good routine is getting out for lunch. Even if you only have 30 minutes to eat your lunch, I think even just stepping out of the front doors of your office and just breathing in some fresh air, getting a little change of scenery, even if it's for 2 minutes, I think that that has such a big drastic impact on your mental state for the whole rest of the day. Another example of a routine, when you get home, again, program the hardest thing first, right? So get home and do a quick little like 15-minute workout. Take a shower so you're not stinky. The whole rest of the evening, you can just shut off and feel good about it because you've done everything. You've done your routine. Now you can watch your movies or play your video games or read all of your books, like whatever you enjoy doing, you can shut off and just be done. Yeah, that's all of my thoughts that I've had on routines. Like I said, my brain's been in such a funny space because this whole year has been so hectic, and I just feel like I've been thinking about weird things for too long. So I don't know. Share your daily routines that you actually love, or share your thoughts on this. I just feel like this isn't talked about that much. So I would love to talk to you guys more about it. Let me know everything that you've thought about it. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Not even next week. I will see you on Thursday, and then the following Monday, and then the next Thursday. Okay, goodbye.